What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unprofitable Diaries. In today's video, I'll be covering something that might be very hard for me to explain, but I'll try anyways. Risk management. Yesterday and the day before yesterday, we talked about take profits and stop losses, which is also an important part of risk management. Now, risk management. What is risk management? What is my understanding of risk management? Risk management is a way of protecting your capital. Way of protecting your capital. Yeah. It's about, for example, how much you risk on a trade. How much do you want to risk on a trade? If I want to buy a position right here, and I will sell a position right here, I put my stop loss above the high, and then I target this drawn liquidity down here. Now, there's no context of this. I would never take this trade in real life because none of my conferences. It's not sure. It's not. I'm just. This is not a real trade. This is just an example. We can see for first of all risk to reward ratio. Risk to reward ratio is about how much you risk, how much you make, how much you risk to how much you make, if that makes sense. So if I risk, let's say example goes $100 risk on the trade. So I risk $100 on this trade. So this move will lose me $100. But that also means that this move is gonna make me more than the $100 because it is obviously bigger. You know, so if this is approximately 48 bars, isn't that like the calculation you put? No, it's not. Fuck, man, shit. Anyways, if this move is gonna lose me $100, then this move is gonna make me more than the $100 at least. That's what I know. Make sure this risk to reward number is always more than 1 to. Our ratio should be more than 1 to 1 to 1. 1 to 2, kind of. So if it's underneath 1 to 1 or 1 to 2, that means that you're risking more than you're going to make on the trade. For example, this is negative RR. This is underneath, as you can see, is underneath 1.1. It is 0.8. That means that this move is going to lose us $100, and this move is probably going to make us like $75, $80. So that means that we will lose more than we will make, and that is not good. We do not want that. So make sure your risk to reward is above 1.2, 1.1, 1.2. I've always said 1.2, but 1.1 is also alright. It's not that bad. I think that is like you make the same as your risk, I believe. 750. Yeah, around that. Yeah, you make a little bit more than you risk, but it is not great. So make sure you have a risk to reward ratio of at least 1 to 1 or 1 to 2. And another thing is you want to know how much you want to risk on these trades. Because if you take a trade and you risk your whole account, let's say you have $50,000 and you take a trade and you risk 100% of the trade. This is barely possible because you have to have something called margin, but it's just an example. If you risk 100% of the trade, how many trades do you have to take? How many losing trades do you have to take in order for you to lose all your money? Obviously one, because if you risk $50,000, that means that your stop loss is going to be $50,000 loss. If we go over here, we lose $50,000, which is your whole capital. That is going to lose you. That will lose you the whole account. In one trade. So that is not good. We do not want to do that. No, absolutely not. what you want to do is you need to make sure you risk a low amount, because a average return of like a week is probably a couple of percentages, if even that. You're not gonna make 100% each week or each month at all. It's not possible. Maybe it's possible, but then it's gambling, because you need to make sure that your capital is protected. So if I have $50,000, I'll just continue on this one. If I have $50,000 in my account and I instead risk between 1 and 3%, then it will literally take me between 133 trades for me losing trades, of course, important. It will take me between 33 and 100 losing trades for me to lose the whole account. That is barely impossible. If I have a win rate, if my strategy has got a win rate of maybe 50%, that means I win 50% of my trades. Then you will not lose your account. If I risk 1% on each trade, that is usually what I do, between 1 and 2%. If I risk 1%, for example, then that means that this is going to be 1% risk. Oh, I'm not going to do that. That is 1% risk. And if our RR is a 2 RR, that means that this is going to be doubled. So if that is 1 RR, 1% loss, then this is going to be 2%. So if I risk 1% here, this starts, and then we come up and loss a bit, and then we go down and hit my take profit. That means I've made 2% of this trade. But if we go up and we lose the trade, then it's actually all right. And you know why it's all right? Maybe we go down a bit and then we go up here. That means it doesn't really matter, because I've only lost $500 out of my $50,000 on this trade. And I mean, if you have $50,000 and you take a couple of trades a week, that's 2% of each trade. Let's say you win and lose 50% of the time you win, 50% of the time you lose. That means if you take 10 trades, you're going to lose 5 and you're going to win 5, all right? So if you 50% win rate, 1% risk, 2-hour trades. This is the example. We risk 1%. So if we take 10 trades, we're going to lose 5, which means we're going to lose 5%. Minus 5%. And then we have 5 trades of 2% gain. That is 10% gain. So what is that? That is 10 minus 5. That is 5% total gain. So how much is 5% of $50,000? That is 500 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That is $2,500 on a month. Or on the 10 trades. On the 10 trades, we have made approximately 5%, which is $2,500 on a 50K account. If you use what a funded account is, that is a fuck ton of money. That is a lot of money, and you can absolutely live on that. You can actually live on that. You can absolutely make a lot more money, but it is a very good start for you if you just have this proper risk management. Because if you were to risk like 10% of the trade and you lost two trades in a row, then you lose 20% of the whole capital. And that will fuck with your psychology too. At the end of this series, I'll be covering like my psychology videos. It's like what I try and master, because I have barely mastered any of these psychology videos at all. I'm still struggling. Many people are still struggling. And you don't become profitable if you haven't mastered your psychology. And that's why it's one of the most important things in trading. And when I cover that, I'll try and one of the psychology things is that if you lose some, it's kind of like you have to be able to lose money without like panicking. Because if I know that I win 50% of my trades and I risk 1% in each trade, and I have a 2-hour on my trades, then I can just be calm. I can be calm because I know that if I lose money today and I lose money tomorrow, that doesn't matter, because I was most likely win the day after, and when I win the day after, I'm gonna make everything back that I lost the 2 previous days. So make sure your capital is protected by using risk management. I never risk more than 3%. 3% is absolutely A plus setups, but normally I risk between 1 and 2%. Also on backtesting, when I gather data on my strategy, I also risk between 1 and 2%, so it becomes as realistic as possible. Yeah, that is basically what I wanted to cover today. Your R has to be above 1.1 to 1.2. It should be. That is what I do, and I would recommend you guys to do so because that is the easiest, and that's what everybody has told me. And also, don't risk more than between 1 to 2.5, 3%. 3% is absolutely maximum if you ask me. And that way, if you have a profitable strategy and your psychology is somewhat acceptable, then you will not be losing money in the long run. At least not way too much until you get a hold of it. And when you get a hold of it, you're gonna level up every single day, and you're gonna take better trades, and you're gonna, you're gonna avoid taking the bad ones, and everything is just gonna be so much better. Yeah, that is basically gonna be everything for this video. This was risk management. Tomorrow I will be showing you guys my trading plan and what it is and what it's good for. We'll just go through it. Which is a good thing to have in order for you to not break your rules. Because if you break your rules, that is also a way for you to absolutely become nothing. So risk management, trust me, do not underestimate risk management. Risk management can make or break you. Basically, if you don't have proper risk management, you're not gonna get anywhere. So yeah, that's gonna be everything in this video. Make sure to like, subscribe. That would be deeply appreciated. Tomorrow's gonna be trading plan. And I've recorded 5 videos today. Then I'll probably see stars afterwards, but it's all good. Yeah. Join my Discord down below if you guys would like to. I would like to fill up that server. That is also why I'm creating all these videos now, so I can promote like my social media, get some eyes on me maybe one day. Yeah, that's gonna be everything for this video, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, where I'll be covering what a trading plan is, what my understanding of it is, and I'll be showing you guys mine. Also giving you guys a template probably. I'll find out if I can find my old template. But that's gonna be everything for this video, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.